One night, sitting alone in her apartment, Sarah notices a strange movement in the corner of her room while watching TV. When his eyes focus, a black shadow is approaching him in a corner of the room. With trembling hands, he picks up his phone and takes a photo, but the shadow is invisible in the photo. At that moment, he realizes that something is wrong in his room. She feels the shadows dancing around her room, can't breathe, and tries to run away. In a panic, he finally opens the door. But as the shadows try to pull him in, the world outside feels alien to him. You blink for a moment. You've lost track of Sarah. Sarah's disappearance draws everyone who lives in that house into a terrible secret. In a town, everyone hears a strange mood when they approach a quiet street. This street, whenever you pass by, the sounds around suddenly disappear. People avoid using this street because the silence creates a deep discomfort in them. But one day, a curious teenager decides to cross the street. When he walks slowly through the middle of the silence, after taking a few steps, he turns around and freezes at the sight he sees. The street behind him seems to have disappeared, and he realizes that he cannot return. Now he is trapped in the quiet street, and when the townspeople hear his story, they will have a greater fear and curiosity about the quiet street. Jack, a night watchman, is tasked with watching over a historical cemetery at night time. The cemetery is quiet and only the rustling of the wind is heard. But one night, he sees a shadow near the cemetery gate and immediately approaches. His eyes are faced with the bright green lights that shine in the dark. Although Jack cannot see the eyes, he feels that this shadow is approaching him at a second glance. The shadow suddenly disappears, and only an empty cemetery remains in its place. Jack doesn't tell anyone about this mysterious being he saw that night, but he doesn't want to go on cemetery surveillance every night after that day. However, he feels that what he sees is with him and that he is watching him. This story becomes a viral story for those who follow in the footsteps of the terrible experience that Jack went through.